turning your desires into a choice to have them now, today, on Awakening with Amy. Hi, welcome. I'm Amy Valentine, certified life coach, hoping to awaken within you a mindset that you can be, do, and have any desire. Today, we're going to take manifesting to the next level. We're going to level up today. And remember, by manifesting is meant to experience. That's how Neville Goddard talks about manifesting. We are manifesting machines. We're manifesting all the time. So let go of thinking that you have to learn how to manifest. When we're talking about manifesting here, we're talking about we're already doing it anyway. We're just becoming more and more aware of that. And the more aware we become, right, the broader our perspective, the more we let in to our life, right? So let's start with a quote from Neville Goddard himself. He says, "Make the elsewhere here and the future now." Make the elsewhere here and the future now. He's reminding us that the now moment is the only moment that matters. Right now is the only moment of creation. We are creating our entire life experience right now with our attention and focus, our awareness of being. This is so powerful. Seth, through Jane Roberts, said, "Your point of power is in the now." All spiritual teachers talk about this, right? It's just like it's just so hard to grasp with our physical mind. So just try to suspend trying to believe in this and just try to absorb it, because it's what you already know. It's what we already know. We just forget when we're bouncing around this physical world. So manifesting desire, make the elsewhere here. Neville's saying, come from that state of being, a person that anything is possible. Disregard any evidence right now of your senses or of what you've been, or, and put your attention on what could be. Because every desire, let's talk about the fundamental understanding of what a desire really is. A desire is a divine urge to create. Abraham Hicks calls all your desires are in the vortex of creation, where 99.99% of your potential is. They're talking about the non-physical you, our soul, our spirit, that part of us, that higher us, that's one with source energy. So once we become aware of this, that our physical self is only a puny part of who we really are, then we can understand that we can make every desire a choice to have it. Right? Choose to have it right now. Make the future dream a present fact now by embracing it. The process that it's a divine urge for me to be more, to know myself as source energy, as one with the Father, right? It's a divine urge. Think about that. It's who you really are. It's your nature, true nature. Right? So every desire that you have, if you don't choose to have it, to possess it, to receive it, it remains dormant, right? It keeps, it's hidden from you. So understand that the whole game of life is between us and us. It's you and you. That's the whole crazy game. When we awaken to that it's all us, that we're playing all the parts, we're the writer, we're the director, the producer, the actor in this game of life. It's crazy, right? So it's like, embrace it, have fun with it. So the power of choice. Everything lies in this. God gave us free will to choose, made us in its likeness and image, but, right, with the free will to choose. That's how much love source energy, God, infinite intelligence has, that it just is so loving. It's only unconditional love. It doesn't see any lack or limitation or fear, right? So I have a client that really demonstrates the power of choice, choosing his desires so well, and I'll help tie this together. So when we first started talking a couple months ago, he was really dug in. He told me himself in his own words that he was in a pretty dark place, and he was really arguing for his limitations. When we were talking and stuff, he was really dug into that he wanted to start his own business, but he couldn't because he felt like he had so much experience in the healthcare field. And he said, I have to keep, my foot in the healthcare field while I'm building my business. Well, through a couple coaching sessions, I challenged him on that, right? I challenged that belief because, keep in mind, every belief is not bad or good in itself, but every belief is just a thought that we kept thinking and that became true, right? And if you don't investigate them, then they basically run on autopilot. So that's what we were doing. And now we just had a session a couple days ago, and he said to me that everything is falling into place, that he's letting go of the anxiety of having to do something he doesn't want to do anymore, and he's building his consulting business. He's launching in January. He said he's never been happier and more excited in his life, and he is so grateful and thankful. It's so powerful because in just a few short months, even though the outside world isn't reflecting much yet, he changed his mind. He's making different choices. He's using his mind to choose his desires. And he said synchronicities are happening like crazy. One of his kids wants to work with him in a new business. His best friend called him the other day and said, hey, I want to partner up with you. I love your ideas. I love what you're doing. So just take this as an example that if he can do it, so can you. So can we all. It's just about making a choice to take your power back, that you are the creator. You have creative control, right? You're choosing from that oneness with source energy, your higher self, your I amness, versus the ego, which is always saying, I am not. The ego is always separating us from what we desire, telling us we don't have what it takes. We're not enough. Again, I am not. And just think about that. Fear, lack, and worry is all based in an experience of reality. It's not real in and of itself. It's an experience of reality saying, I am not who I want to be. And if you keep choosing that, that's why you keep getting unwanted circumstances in your life. If it's right now and you're thinking about a past unwanted situation and you're blaming that on why you don't have what you have right now, literally you're using your now moment. Like Seth said, your point of power is now to create more unwanted, the essence of that unwanted, because you're feeling, I'm not enough. And that's always bogus. And remember, that negative emotion is always guidance telling you you're thinking something, assuming something about yourself that is not your true nature. And that is the key, right? This is from scripture, from John 15:7, I wrote this down. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. Ask whatever you wish, no limits. With God, all things are possible. If you abide in me, capital me, higher you, that higher thought, that wisdom, that heart knowing, that intuition that just points the way. Remember, your mind is a polarity organ. Its only job, like Bashar says, is to help you figure out the what. What do you want? The job of the physical mind is not to figure out the how and when. That's why we get all caught up in the messy middle instead of just becoming aware of a desire and then deciding to have it, right? Going to the end and staying there, like Neville Goddard says. Remember, the job of the mind is not to figure out the how and the when. It's not equipped to do it. It can't. It's the ego, always the reasoning mind saying, well, you can't do this. You've never done that before. It's always that negative mind chatter. And remember, that negative chatter is not who you really are. It's not natural to you. That's why it doesn't feel good when you think those thoughts. And that's just a guidance system. So you want to choose from that oneness. I am who I say I am, no matter what. Go within. That's what that feeling of wish fulfilled is that Neville talks about. It's that feeling of inner conviction. I am who I say I am, no matter what the appearances look like. It's not that fleeting emotion, right? That fleeting feeling of joy, sadness, happy. No, Neville meant that inner conviction. I am connected to the Father. I and the Father are one, right? So, the common obstacles that happen all the time, happen to all of us, is we start to believe in the fear. We start to believe that's who we are. That core belief in struggle, in not enoughness. It's in coaching, we call it our gremlin, right? The gremlin voice. But remember that egoic structure, it's a construct. It's for relativity, for you to understand your emotions, that it's just guidance, right? The world of appearances is the fog that most people live in. That's the ego, right? That's what Florence Scovel Shinn said. And to win at the game of life, she says, you have to see life as a game and not a battle. It's a constant reminder, choose again and again and again, to choose your desires. That's choosing to be one with the higher you, the vantage point of that higher perspective, not defining yourself through the physical world, not putting importance on the physical desire itself, but putting the importance on that higher you. Because when you do that, that's a natural high. That's a natural positivity. True positivity isn't that trying to feel better about things. No, true positivity is broadening your awareness of who you really are, that oneness with source energy, right? So how do we do this, right? That's always the question. Well, how do I do this? It's always the same answer. It's awareness. You have to become aware of the broader perspective, the bigger you, the higher you, and put that, if you're going to put anything on a pedestal, put that relationship on the pedestal and nothing else, because everything will flow from your relationship with your inner being, right? So the heart is the higher wisdom. That's the intuition that just feels and knows. It will point the way if you choose to listen to it. Remember, your physical mind's only job is to choose, what do you want? Your heart will show you the way. So follow those urges. Florence Scovel Shinn has a great process to help us do this. That when we're in that fog of, maybe circumstances we don't want, or maybe it's a relationship that is toxic, or maybe we're thinking about a past event and we're literally recreating it right now because we keep putting our attention back on the past. That's the fog that Florence talks about. We can't, and that's what Neville talks about too, make the future dream a present fact now. How do we do that? We can only do that if we broaden our awareness to see ourselves and our life as creators, to create one with that higher power. It's the only really way to become more aware of that and to learn to trust it, to choose it. Remind yourself, like Paul said, I die daily. hit that reset button every moment you can. If you start feeling that negative emotion, don't fight it. Don't resist it. Understand, talk to it. What is it trying to tell you? It's trying to tell you, every negative emotion is telling you, I am not focused in the right way, meaning that righteous thinking with my higher self. I'm thinking like the ego thinks right now, that I can't be doing, have what I want. And that always feels bad. And that feeling is letting you know that's not natural for you, right? Even if it feels normal to struggle. Course in Miracles says struggle is never necessary unless it helps you to stop struggling. How powerful. So choose your desires. Florence Scovel says baptize everything with the word success. So any unwanted, it's called a pattern interrupt. Anything that comes up in your day, a thought, a feeling, a mood or an attitude, a physical happening, somebody maybe at work, is really a jerk, and you just say to yourself, success, and then just trust. You'll be led. Trust your heart. It's really that heart-mind coherence, right? That so many scientists and spiritual teachers talk about. That heart-mind coherence is what manifests. That heart is that feeling, right? The mind is the conscious choosing. So consciously choose moment to moment every day to make your desires a present fact now, and just watch the synchronicities. And like Bashar says, just to sum this all up, the true test is not if anything physically changes yet, it's how you feel within. That's the true test that tells you that you have shifted to a higher perspective, to an alternate reality. So I challenge you, urge you, I encourage you to make all your desires a choice to have them, no matter what the appearances look like. And just keep practicing that. Baptize everything unwanted success anyway. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful and thankful for you. Thank you for sharing and liking the video. That's how we get the message out to more people. Thank you for subscribing. And until next time, have a wonderful day.